Indiana Jones, accompanied by Ozzy, who represent Indiana's greatest fears, battles, and adventures, which include snakes, spiders, scorpions, and boulders. Next, we have Molly the Magician. Miraculous makes the crowd disappear with her beautiful assistant, Miranda. But as much as she tried shaking her head and saying the magic words, they wouldn't reappear. She was about to give up, but Master Miranda wouldn't let her. So she said, "Llama, llama, llama," and they all reappeared. Hi folks, my name is B.B. Wolf. Thanks to the three pigs, you may know me as the Big Bad Wolf. But I'm here to set the story straight. It just so happens I'm a building contractor by profession. One day I was on a lovely walk in the woods when I came upon a house built of straw. I knocked on the door and tried to tell the owner it would not stand up to a gust of wind. And he just cried and screamed and wouldn't listen to my warnings. Then a gust of wind came and blew his house down. He ran away screaming. I continued to walk down the lane when I came upon a poorly built house of twigs. So I knocked on the door and tried to tell the owner that it couldn't withstand one gust of wind. But he and his neighbor just screamed and cried at the very moment. Another gust of wind came and blew his house down, so they ran away. So I just continued my walk and I came upon a wonderfully built brick house. I went and knocked on the door and tried to tell the owner how well built his house was, but the screaming was so loud he couldn't hear me. So I continued on my walk where I found myself at home. A few days later, I overheard the woodland creatures talking about how the three little pigs accused me of huffing and puffing and blowing their house down. Who are you going to believe, B.B. Wolf or the three little pigs?
On the back is hard to do. It's hard to get them to stay there, and it's hard to get the animal to accept it. And I asked them, what was the hardest part? And she said, it's that box. And I put a lot of things on animals' backs as well, and I agree, that is a hard part. The animal did well, shook its ears off, had a few points deducted for that, but overall a very good costume. My other two animals were pretty equal in acceptance of their costume, and sometimes they shake those things off their heads, and that's okay. I actually ended up, I do a point system, and when I got done and added up the points, I actually ended up with equal points. So these last two are kind of tied. So to break the tie, I went with the age of the animal and the acceptance. And I think this younger animal, accepting some of the dangling things, even though we lost a little part of it, that's very hard to do. So my second place went to the young man, and my third place went to the young lady, but they were equally well trained and ended up in a tie. So congratulations to this class.